Hey everybody, hopefully we're getting this thing squared away here. Just a sec. Sorry about all that. Just want to make sure we're all good. And go ahead, chat here. Just want to make sure everybody that this is all good. So sorry about that earlier. Not sure what happened there. Had to restart the stream. But welcome to everybody to AstroWorld TV on this Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great night. Happy I think is it Happy Pi Day? So 314. So for all you all out there, happy Pi Day, all that good stuff. Um this is, as you can see, yay, Matt, I'm back. I'm back. As you can see, it is just me tonight. Um, Dan is actually at a hockey game, and Dave messaged me about an hour ago. He had some family stuff. I guess his puppy he needs to take to the vet, so he won't be joining us. So I am going to be going solo. So it's just us right now. So yeah. So I'm back. I'm back. So weird. Um, got that crazy echo. So hopefully, so I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you guys are ready, looking forward to the weekend. I know I am. And I tell you, I don't know about you guys, but here this morning, it was great. We had the total solar eclipse, the blood moon, and it was really, really cool. I tried my best to stay up, but I had everything kind of automated. And hey, Corin, how's it going, buddy? And so I had everything automated through SharpCap. And sure enough, for me, my dog needed to go out, and just in the nick of time when she needed to go out was the time we I wanted to go ahead and do the video and start doing my high-speed video of the total lunar eclipse rather, and we got it. So pretty cool. I'm not sure if you guys have been on my website yet, astrowitheric.com, but I can share that here really quick. And if I go there, and it was, this is the first um lunar image that I have actually on the website. So it's pretty cool. And if I can share and screen and share. So here it is. This is my iteration or my version of the blood moon from this morning. It reached totality, I want to say around 240 or something around there. Um, and we this took about, and this was only a minute and a half. This was 15,000 frames. So didn't take too long to grab this, but pretty proud of this. And hopefully you guys were out there, if you had had clear skies and stuff, hopefully you guys were able to get it too. Love to hear about that. So let me know if you guys were able to get on and do that and get a lunar shot. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So it was a lot of fun. Like I said, that was with the 533. I used the 533 MC Pro with the FLT91, and going off of some of the advice that we got from Dan Llewellyn, I actually did the I did bin in SharpCap. I did bin 2 and did an ROI, reduced the resolution, did a few zoom ins, and took down that gain and took down the gain, took down the exposure time, and I was averaging about 147 frames per second. So 147 frames per second with the 533 MC Pro to do lunar, I think is fantastic. And it's not like the 622, with the Starvis 2 technology or anything like that. But nonetheless, I think that is blazing. So it was pretty sweet to get that in just under 2 minutes. Oh, that stinks, Jackie. Yeah. Staying up when you stay up that late and and the clouds don't cooperate, yeah, that stinks. But hopefully next year's total solar eclipse, the I was looking at a website, timeandweather.com, I believe, and it was stating that the next total lunar eclipse is next March. So it's this time again next year. So hopefully, if you didn't have the opportunity to capture and photograph the blood moon this morning, hopefully you'll have an opportunity when it comes through next year. Yeah, Matt, I hear you. I need my beauty sleep too. So to be honest, it was having that broken REM sleep. It's not fun, and it made work a little challenging, but it all turned out okay. No, I don't think it covers the whole US. I have to double check and take a look. If I can. Um, Yeah, let's go here let's just take a quick look, see. And I'm just kind of curious if there is any information on that as far as next year's eclipses. So 2026 lunar. Oh, yeah. So let me share my screen again and I can show this to y'all. So right now, this is timeanddate.com. And March 3rd, 2026, it looks like a total lunar eclipse that is going to reach us. It's going to cover pretty much everything with the exception of Africa, Europe, the Mideast, parts of Asia, but the majority of Asia, Australia, and the Americas and Greenland should, have it. Maybe a sliver of South America, I believe that's sliver of Brazil, that might not see the total lunar eclipse, but everything else would. And we have a partial on the 28th. So that will also cover the United States. So yeah. So just that, just a little FYI on that. So pretty cool. Yeah, lunar eclipse. Yeah, this the total solar eclipse, that's hitting Iceland and Spain. I would love personally to have a trip in 2027 to go to Luxor, Egypt, and see the total eclipse in the Valley of the Kings. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think seeing the total eclipse and the back and having the pyramids and the Sphinx all there while you're looking at totality of a total solar eclipse, I think would be epic. So that's probably something I want to try to do. Maybe I can put that on my list for 2027. So, hey, Greg. Yep, back in Phoenix. Nice. Yes, it does, Gideon. It hits Egypt in 2027. So it covered pretty much the all the continent of Africa, if I'm not mistaken, um, for that. And no, I'm sorry, it doesn't cover the entire, but let's take a quick look here for August of 2027. I'll just share this here while we're having the conversation. So the total solar eclipse for August 2nd. So as you can see, Egypt is in the path of totality. So you have um not a lot, but you of course you have but Egypt would be the place to be, I think, if you want to have an opportunity to see the solar eclipse and to see it with the pyramids and the Sphinx, and all that, I think would be absolutely incredible. So yeah, here, yeah. So it'll be pretty cool, pretty darn cool. Does anyone know of brand heart cases that isn't Pelican but good enough quality that can be shipped overseas? I am not sure. Um, yeah. Like I wouldn't be surprised. I probably am already too late. Those tours and everything were probably sold out last year, um, right after last year's solar eclipse. So yeah, but I'll take a look see. But if it's not there, it's all good. I've had a chance to see it here in the States, so I can knock the seeing a total solar eclipse off the bucket list myself personally. So Nanook. Nanook, Nanook. All right. So yeah, we guess we have a few um Apache cases too, and that are cheaper. So yeah, so hopefully, Trek, you can find a case um for your equipment. So yeah. So again, happy you guys are joining me. Don't forget, this is Friday. Go, if you haven't voted yet, vote for image of the week. astroworldweb.com/IOTW, and go vote for both our novice and our experienced images. So we really like you continued support, and go and vote. So tonight, since I'm going to be going solo, and I was planning on this anyway. Gideon, you even asked about this, which gave me the idea. Since I did get a new MeLe here, quite, 4C, so I can have two setups. Is the question of setting up a MeLe mini computer for imaging, for astrophotography with Nina and all that stuff. Yeah, so no Dan, no Dave. Yeah, it's just me, blind solo. So it's all good. Dan's at a hockey game, Dave's at the vet. So it just happens like that, real life, things happen, and people plan things. So yeah. If I can, let me take a look see here. The I'm going to also, you're asking for some links. I'll bring those links up and stuff like that too. Um, and so I'll share here. This is what I used for my setup is the MeLe Quieter 4C. So this one has a bit more, it has a bit more to it than my 3C that I currently have running. This has an extra 8 gig of memory, same size storage, 512 gig of storage, but these are really, really good, and this one is on sale right now. Just a little over $200, US, but these are really, really good. Mini computers, they don't have the fans, so I had an overclock 4C, and bit being outside during the summer and stuff like that, it actually burned out. So when they brought out this so when I saw the 4C here and it was at a pretty good price, I went ahead and went for it. So yeah. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go through everything step by step on how I would set up the MeLe and how I set up the MeLe um for imaging. So if you have questions, feel free to drop those in, and love to hear that. It does come with Windows 11. Yes, Windows 11 is already included. So yeah, me running at 720p right now, it's just the default from Zoom. So I don't have the same setup as Dan with Melon and all that. So yeah, I'm running it. This is the default that was set for the Zoom call. So yeah, so it does come with Windows. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my screen and we can go through this. So I know I'm bouncing over to the other screens here quite a bit. So let me do that here. And I'm going to also bring the chat over just so I can see if there's any questions and stuff like that as I'm doing this. So I'm just doing the best I can here to squeeze everything in and see what we can do. All right. So this is, I am remoted into my MeLe 4C. It's sitting right here on my desk. You can use different types of remote desktop tools for remote connectivity into your MeLe. You can use remote desktop protocol, which is very common. Of course, because it's built into Windows and stuff. Or you can also use you can use VNC. That's what I'm using right now is I'm using VNC. Yeah, Windows is pre-installed. The operating system is pre-installed on the MeLes, and it is Windows 11. So yes. And I used Real VNC. Real VNC is actually, they have a light version where you can use remote desktop. You can VNC into up to 3 computers for free without any issues. So hey Wayne, how's it going, buddy? So yeah, it is it's free, just like Windows, RDP. I just find I just have a personal preference of using VNC with the higher encryption, 256 encryption. I'm sure the same is with RDP and with extra passwords. So here is my checklist. I'm going to bring up my checklist here. One thing that I will say to Gideon and everybody else, when you get your MeLe and everything, there's certain steps you want to take before you even start putting on, your Astro software and everything like that. I would highly recommend these things. Um, the first thing I would recommend is, of course, when you're getting your MeLe set up and everything, is to install all of the, get the Windows operating system up to date, install all the security patches that are available, um, close up the vulnerabilities, anything like that, to make sure that your computer is your MeLe is as secure as possible. So that is one thing I would definitely recommend doing, and making sure that that's done. Also, let's see. Oh, yes, disable. Don't forget to disable the Windows user account control. Disable UAC. So, and if you don't remember where to do that, you can actually just type in, I believe it's UAC, the user account control settings, and you can go there and never notify. That way you're not getting those constant pop-ups to ask you, hey, are you sure you want to install this software? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know, yes, I am sure of what I'm doing. So you want to have that. You want to have your Windows operating system up to date. You want to have UAC off. You want to have Windows Defender, your antivirus, or if you're going to use another type of antivirus, you want to have that installed to make sure that that's good and up to date. All those things are going. You want to make sure that after that's done, I would also recommend getting rid of all of that Windows bloatware. You can do that through just going to the add remove programs, like getting rid of like Cortana, Xbox Live, everything, solitaire games, all those things that are unnecessary and just may end up taking up resources, on your Windows computer, because this only has 16 gig of RAM. If you get there are other options that have just 8 gig of RAM. So you don't want to have, to fight, you don't want to have the operating system, fight for resources and have, Nina and other applications fight for resources that don't really need to be running or don't even really need to be installed. So I would definitely go in and go through the add remove programs and get rid of all of the Windows bloatware as possible. Now, and once that's done, the updates, UAC turned off, and getting rid of all the bloatware, the next thing I would do is, because you're going to need this for ASCOM, is install .NET. So what you can do there is go to your control panel and go to programs and features here. And under the control panel here, you have turn off Windows features, turn them on or off. And what you want to do is right here is the .NET framework. This includes .NET 2.0 and 3.0, and you want to have those. So make sure that those are that's installed, those are turned on, and that's all set. So you're going to need that for ASCOM. ASCOM does require .NET to be installed. But as you can see here, we're pretty much going to be starting from scratch. Now, once you have that, then you can go ahead and go and start moving forward. The first thing I would say is go ahead and install ASCOM. So we're just going to go. I've created a folder myself with all of the apps that are necessary. So we'll have ASCOM here, and we'll just go ahead and install ASCOM. So Gideon has a question. Yeah, the features you want off, like I said, is you want to go through add remove programs. You want to get rid of all that bloatware, all that extra stuff. Oh, Dan's hopping on. That is unnecessary. Like I said, get rid of Xbox Live. Get rid of the, um, all that extra stuff like solitaire games, anything that, Microsoft Office. I would even get rid of or disable OneDrive, things like that, things that aren't absolute, that are not necessary for
I missed that guy.
Windows to run.
You guys kept it interesting.
Get an eagle.
For floatware. Yeah, not necessarily, like the specific features. Like I said, like Xbox, there are certain services, certain applications that need to be running, like Xbox Live. You don't need that.
I think I was solo.
I am solo. Dude. Let me see here. Hold on. Dan's on here. And Dan is talking. Get an eagle. You're probably going to have to do the same things there as well, because there are a lot when you install. If Eagle doesn't come pre-installed with Windows,
This is my show, but I'm solo right now.
All that junk. So we're going to go ahead and install ASCOM here, and that done. Yeah, Dan just hopped on just to give me shit. Man, I was like, dude, he's at the game. What is he doing here? So we'll go ahead and get ASCOM installed here. And go through this process and make sure this is good. So that would be so this is after you get rid of everything. As I said, download the latest version of ASCOM. This is ASCOM 7 here. 7.02 is this release, and you can just simply download this. So we're going to go ahead and let this install. And if you guys have questions, feel free. Throw some questions in the chat. And while we're doing that, while this is installing, don't forget to go and vote if you haven't voted already for image of the week. So we have some really good, we have 2 novice and 3 experienced images to choose from. So yeah. ASCOM is big, so. Okay, so we got, so far the ASCOM Diagnostics is getting installed. You've got the Profile Explorer. So everything is coming on. Question, when you do this, can you expect more gremlins than you would run in an ASIR powered system? Let's be honest, Gideon, it's a PC, things are going to happen. I mean, things are going to happen with an ASIR, with Raspberry Pi, maybe not as often as a Windows computer, but I'm going to be honest, I have run into very few gremlins. If I, going through, like I said, cleaning up the operating system as much as possible from all that extra stuff that is just not needed. And so far, my MeLe 3 has been a champ. I have not had any issues with it at all, with gremlins, problems, popping up or stuff like that. I will say this. Let me take that back. I will say this. It does, my Quieter 3, it does hang a little bit sometimes if I'm over processing it or if I'm pushing it, because my Quieter 3 only has 8 gig of RAM. This one that I'm setting up right now, the Quieter 4C, this one has 16. But that's the only thing I can really think of that, would be the issues that would slow things is running so many different things at once. So, all right. So now ASCOM is installed. So now we have ASCOM installed. Now we can go ahead and we can do everything else that we want to do. We can install all of our other applications. So for right now, we can install, I'm going to install my ZWO drivers for my camera. Let me get that done. And then I'll install all the others, all the other drivers. So here, yep, always, yep, trust, yep. Don't need to visit the website. Okay, finish that. And I'll do the ZW ASCOM setup here. And this one's going to cover the filter wheel, the EAF, if you have a AM5 or AM3 or CAA, anything like that, and you're in your cameras. So I'm going to go ahead and install these drivers. No, the ASIR is not perfect, but it is a good system. You guys know I've used the ASIR, for a lot. I mean, still have it. I still have a couple of them. I don't use them as much because I use more. I use different vendor products now, so which is one of the main reasons why I went over to Nina. So we have this all done. Now you can go, and now I'm going to go ahead and go to my next apps. Let's see. And that. Prima Luce. We'll go ahead and install these guys. It's been zipped. All right, now we'll go. If you ever see something like this or Windows you've protected your PC, you can simply click on more info. And if you trust the application, like this is Prima Luce Play, you can click on that and click on Run Anyway. The reason why I'm installing the Play software is because I have the Alto and the Giotto, and they have calibration. You update the firmware through Play, so you do that. So that's the reason why you want to have Play if you have Prima Luce devices like I do, to update the firmware, and I also use it to calibrate my my flat panel, the Alto, the flat panel controller. So this is going to go ahead and install here. All right, so while that's going, like I said, you guys have questions, feel free to just keep coming with those. Yes, if you don't have any Prima Luce devices, you can skip this. You just want to get your drivers. If you have like say QHY and Prima Luce and all the others, you want to get those installed. So this is okay. So Play is installed, and now I'm also going to go and I'm going to set up my drivers. I thought these were already all decompressed. So again, run anyway, more info, run anyway. And this one's get this installed. Yeah, I'll see what I can do for you there, Gideon. So I don't want to read that. And here are the drivers. So if you really wanted to, you can actually right click on this guy and run it. You should be able to just double click and run it. And you can install the drivers. These are the community, the COM drivers. So there's that one. So the Alto is now done. And I have an Asado, so system drivers. And we're going to go ahead and install this software. And get this piece going. The agreement and install. Because I do have a pre-MeLe focuser. And that's already installed, so we should be fine there. With the that software. And let's go next to the Giotto. Run this one more time. And oh, this is already installed. Oh, the comfort calibrator. Must have do it twice. So it's probably unnecessary. So yeah, and get all this stuff done. Oh, these are both. Okay. It's going to reinstall them all. So looks like the focusers for both the Sesto and for the other focuser, pre-MeLe focuser, they're all on the Asado. Looks like they're basically the same, or at least they're in the same package. So that should take care of pre-MeLe. Now, there are a few other things here, such as you're going to need PhD, of course. So you're going to want to go ahead and install that. I'm not going to go through all of the apps, but just to get us, going for Nina. So I won't install, like SharpCap and stuff like that. There's really no necessary for that. So just get the ones that are going for Nina. Um, you should have either a copy of either, it's for plate solving, either PlateSolve 2 or PlateSolve 3.80. You want to have those so you can do your plate solving. So just a heads up there. And I think if you have a artificial horizon file, or if you think about if you want to create, you can go create an artificial horizon for Nina to help you with your planning. Definitely go and check out Patriot Astro Chad's YouTube video. He has tons of YouTube videos. He probably even has one going through this, what I'm going through right now, and he will show you how you can create a horizon file using your like say your Apple phone, using some survey software, and you can even use that same file not only for Nina, but you can also use it for other planetarium software like Stellarium. So we have all those. My repository. Okay, I think right now, one, we can go ahead and install Nina. Same thing. Allow to run. And get this rolling. Well, that's going, I believe it looks like there is just a few other apps that need to be downloaded. So I'm downloading for my mount. And since I have two different types of mounts, I'm going to go ahead and download these. You're going to need them. Okay, so let's go take a quick look here. Here's Nina. You can read all the terms. Go ahead and install. And one thing I'll show is if you already have an existing Nina install from another computer like I have with my MeLe 3, you can, I'm going to close this real quick. I didn't mean to open it up. You can copy your profiles and all of your settings and things like that. You can copy them over. So we're just waiting here. Let me go ahead and close that. So allow it. Okay, so there's Nina. I'm going to go ahead and close it here real quick. I got a little bit ahead of myself. So need to install the mount software. I forgot to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Okay, so there's that. And for the Celestron mount, my AVX, if I ever decide to use it with this computer, I may as well have it on there, you know? Better go ahead and do everything there. And there's that. Okay. So if there's any comments here, you want to. So I think for the most part, everything is now here. So if I go to my screen here, if you want, you can go ahead and also install, like your Sharp Cap, install Stellarium. I'll actually copy this and put this into Discord for everybody. And you also have your astrometry.net. For your API key, you get your Horizon file. You will copy your Nina profiles if you're migrating from an old PC to a new PC, like I am here, or you're adding on a new PC. This is the path. You can go to your users app data, and there's the Nina profiles, and you can also grab with your Nina sequences, targets, and templates and stuff that is in the documents folder. So you can grab all those things. So for example, I'm just going to grab the profiles here. I should have those. There's all my profiles. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up a new window. And the C drive here, users. And I'm going to want to view all of the hidden files. So all the hidden items. So now you go to view, show, hidden items, make sure that's checked. And now I'm going to go to app data, local, Nina, and there's the profiles folder. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and grab this and copy it and paste it in here. So now I'll have all of my profiles loaded up. And again, for my other apps, my layout, sequences, targets, and templates, those like I said, are usually in my documents folder under Nina here. So here you are, you have targets and templates. So I'm going to actually just grab all four of those folders and just drag them on over. So there's that. Now, let's see when I launch Nina here, see what we have. Now I have all of my profiles. So and I'll just go ahead and select one here, and it's even load that profile. And right now I don't have anything hooked up, but this is basically it. I have all my drivers now. I've got my profile. So if I go over here to options, I can actually get rid of these two defaults. if I really wanted to, I can do all that. My scheme, my layout, everything is pretty much the same. And I just have to do some minor updates, like say astrometry, getting the API key, stuff like that. But this is basically, getting started with Nina. This is it. So don't forget to just grab those other, all your drivers, get your ASCOM updated, PhD, Stellarium. Stellarium is very helpful, things like that. And then you're good. All right. So that's basically it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here. And an API key, it is from astrometry.net. You would have to go to astrometry to download that. You have to sign up like with a Google account. If I go here to astrometry, nova.astrometry.net. So let me share my screen here really quick again. So what you would do is you would sign in with you go to astrometry.net. You can sign in like say with Google or others like Yahoo, and you would go to API here. And so when you sign in, then you would go to your My Profile and you would then download that API key. You would just do a copy from the website here. And then when that's done, then you would go to Nina here. And if I'm not mistaken, if I bring this over here just to make sure I'm seeing everything. There's your planetarium. API key. Trying to remember exactly where it is, but I believe it's over here. But there is a spot for your API key. I just can't locate it right off the bat here. But you would paste it into here, and I just not seeing it right off the bat right now. Sorry. But you set up your plate solvers, all that. And yep, so astrometry.net. Oh, sorry, it's right here. Duh. There's your key. So astrometry.net under plate solver settings, that is where you would drop your API key. Sorry. So it's under your options, plate solving. That's where you would drop your API key. Okay. All right. So it is API key. It's an interface for astrometry.net and to communicate with your Nina computer. So when you're doing with Nina, so if you're plate solving or anything like that, it's going to you can't. So it's basically for your blind plate solver. So you need that API key, which is basically it is a program interface that will send that information. If say plate solve is not solving it, plate solve 3 is not solving it, then or ASTAP, you would and you have astrometry.net as your blind plate solver, you would need that API key. So you can so Nina can send that photo of what is trying to plate solve to astrometry.net so it can try to plate solve from there. So no, if you use ASTAP maybe as your blind solver, then no, I don't think you'll need it. Like for me, I have it. I primarily use PlateSolve 3 for my primary plate solving software, and then um, I'll use astrometry.net. But you can also use ASTAP as your blind solver. So yeah, yay, Mark! I am solo. So yeah. Dan is at a hockey game and Dave is out with his dog. Had some sort of his dog had some sort of health issue, had to take it to the vet. So yep, I am going solo. So yeah, so if you're using ASTAP, you don't even need to go to astrometry. You don't even have to worry about that. Just choose ASTAP as your blind plate solver, your blind solver. Um, you what can call it'll work and then it would fail. Which plate solver software are you using? Are you using what's your main solver? Are you using PlateSolve 3, PlateSolve 2, or are you using ASTAP as your main solver? Also, sometimes you might need to download, pending on your target. The plate solver may require additional databases or additional information that you're going to need to make sure you download and have available for it to plate solve. ASTAP. Um, I honestly can't say because I don't really use ASTAP. Like I say, I use astrometry.net and I use PlateSolver 3. So it could be something within ASTAP that like I said, another catalog or something that may be missing and that could cause it to fail. I really can't say. But I hope so far, going through this walkthrough was yeah, got the big database. Okay. Not sure then. I honestly can't say. Um, but I hope this walkthrough on getting a MeLe PC set up is helpful to you all. Like I said, I'm going to copy those instructions that I have in my OneNote. I'm going to I'll clean them up a little bit and then I'll post them into the Discord channel. So that way Gideon or anyone else you want to, take a look at those, you can feel free to take a look at those and hopefully they help you. Yeah, that's another issue. Yeah, it could be. You have a great point there, Mark. It could be the field of view. You may have that set incorrectly. I think I've even had that set where Nina would even scream at me when I was trying to plate solve, and it would scream at me saying, "Hey, you put in either the wrong focal length or the wrong, field of view or something like that, and it can't solve properly or anything like that." And it would tell me and scream at me to fix that. So good point. That could very well be. So we have about 25 minutes left before we announce image of the week. So love to hear what you guys have been doing, what you guys have planned. Um, And if you like what I'm doing here, you like what we do here at the show, let us know, leave comments and stuff like that. If you have questions, shoot some questions here too. Yeah, that's another thing for me, Mark, is a reason why I decided to use Real VNC Lite because I came across, even me, being in IT, I came across some issues on my MeLe wanting to work right, but with um with real VNC, it installs a small agent on the computer, and it'll be able to, and as long as that computer is on the internet, doesn't matter if what IP, if the IP is changed or anything like that, you can it's broadcasting out and it's talking, it gives that information to real VNC on how to get connected to your computer. So even if you're remote or you're doing something, you have a different IP address than what you would normally have at home, and you're doing some remote imaging or anything like that, and things are just a little different. That's why I like Real VNC, because this way it's all still password. I still have passwords. I still have encryption, but at least this way, if I need to connect to it, the software is going to take care of it. I can just go to Real VNC. It'll show my computers. I can click on it no matter where they are, on the internet, and boom. Oh, nice. I'd be curious to see that, Mark. See how that time lapse went. I actually just got it for totality, right around 12:40, 12:45. Not, I'm sorry, 2:45. And this morning, and did that and got about 15,000 frames, about a minute or so, a little bit over a minute, 90 seconds, and it turned out pretty good. So yeah, I'd be really curious to see your time lapse. Uh, Jackie, can you get rid of Copilot? I think so. Let me just I want to just take a look at my MeLe here and see that. I think I did get rid of Copilot. Um, no, sorry, no, but you can uninstall it. So let me see if I can uninstall it here. Yeah, but you can uninstall it. So there's another piece of bloatware. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I totally forgot about Copilot, because you really don't need it. Not for your MeLe. I mean, what are you going to really use it for your astrophotography computer? Yep. So get rid of Copilot. That's gone. Get rid of all, like I say, try to get rid of all the bloatware that you could possibly can that Microsoft throws on this operating system. And some of this stuff, if you're thinking, oh, I'm just gonna blow away the MeLe, installed version of Windows and start a fresh version, you're still gonna have some of this bloatware that you're gonna have to get rid of. Yep. And so Copilot is now uninstalled for my computer, for my MeLe. So cool. Yeah. So there's so many things that Microsoft just keeps reinstalling, after doing updates and stuff like that. So you're just gonna have to be diligent and just clean up, just take a look and see if there's any bloatware floating around, if Copilot floating around. Get rid of Cortana and all these other, other crap, and just do away with it. It'll make it'll make your computer, behave a lot better without all that extra junk. So I'm curious, in the chat, who else was able to, I see Mark, you were able to, grab, can you train Copilot to run your sequences? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. It'd be nice. that you can, if you could do that with that AI, but I do not believe so. Very limited in what Copilot can do. So yeah, like I was saying, be very curious, to know here if anyone else was able to get the lunar eclipse last night, or what you guys are working on this weekend. If you guys have anything that you're working on this weekend, put it in the chat. I'd like to know. Yesterday, while before I actually went to sleep, and then I guess I ended up waking up when my dog needed to be let out, and that's when I got the totality. Sarah Matthews, from Sarah Math, she was on, and I was able to catch up with her really quick because she was doing a live stream during the lunar eclipse. So she had a good showing. So, oh wow. So you use your C star. Okay. I mean, the C star is fantastic for, doing these types of for things like this, for like the eclipses and everything, because I know Tom, he had his C star, worked great, for the solar eclipse last year. Um, and so no, the C stars definitely have their place, and they are very useful tools. Won't disparage that and say that, it's just junk. Because they're not. They do have a place, and they do come in quite handy, and they're at a good price point. Shot most of it, several gigs of video for it. Yeah, yeah. Um, a lot. I mean, even for when I was videoing my 530, doing the high-speed video with my 533 MC at 146, frames per second, just doing I want to say 15,000 frames. It was like a minute and a half, was just over 8 gig. So I can only imagine, what the amount of data and size of storage that, that took up, the eclipse may have taken up for you guys. If you're doing a total time lapse, maybe from beginning to end, that is a lot. That is a lot of storage you're putting in. So you but I was just really surprised, just, for just a minute and a half, 8 gig just for a minute and a half. Why is some gear from China more expensive on a Gina Astro tariff? Um, no, I haven't heard anything, but I wouldn't be surprised. I know the tariffs are in effect. I know the tariffs are active. So that could very well be, because anything coming in from China, being imported from China, it's going to have that tariff on it. And Agena, High Point, everybody else, they're not going to eat that tariff. It's going to get passed on right to us. So the resellers, the vendors aren't going to, pay for that tariff. We are. So, and despite, regardless of your political situation, I mean, they can be, tariffs have their place for certain, in certain situations, but bottom line is it affects everybody, no matter what, especially, we're in a global economy. So I didn't want to do a video, would have been too big. So you had to take individual frames. Okay. Were those TIFFs that you had to do? Just a bunch of TIFFs? When I was processing, um, I'm not very good at planetary. You guys know that. So getting used to some of the software and learning. So, Dan Llewellyn's, tutorials and stuff like that were very helpful. And just doing some YouTube videos. Excuse me. Like I said, been up since, crazy hours in the morning. But the I'm sorry, I even forgot what I even thinking about. Just but yeah, so yeah, when I was doing all my processing, learning WinJupos, or I still haven't figured out WinJupos yet. I've got to get on YouTube and just go through the tutorials. I know there's tons of tutorials with WinJupos. I just haven't had a chance to do it. So that's going to be one thing for me when it comes to planetary. I'm going to learn. So because I know you can plan, through WinJupos, and so you can capture perhaps, even Jupiter's moons, or if there's a transit or anything like that. So yeah, I definitely want to, and of course in there's a derotation and stuff like that. So yeah, that's one piece of software that I'm going to have to learn um to start using, if I'm going to get, a bit more serious on doing some planetary at least. So one thing I am looking forward to myself is we are less than a month away from NEAF in NEAC, and AstroWorld telescopes is going to be there. So I'm going to be there. Dan's going to be there. Even Dave's going to be there. And we're going to be hanging out right next to Prima Luce. I'm looking so forward to this. This is going to be my third NEAF. And I am really, really looking forward to just meeting people, hanging out, walking, doing the walkthroughs like I did last year. This time, thankfully no cane, but going through and doing the walkthrough and all that stuff, and just showing, on through YouTube, doing the live stream of, all of the vendors that are going to be there. I'm really, really hoping that we're going to have a much better turnout this year than we did last year, because of course you had the solar eclipse last year that maybe that dropped attendance quite a bit. Sorry. But that dropped attendance quite a bit, and because people have to choose. Am I gonna go do solar eclipse, or am I gonna do NEAF? So so this time you don't have that, we don't have that worry. So I'm really hoping that NEAF is going to be, the NEAF that I remember from that I remember seeing even before COVID, because even post COVID, it was a little crazy. Not as many people, walking around with masks and stuff like that. But I'm really hoping that now that we're getting past a lot of this stuff, that we're going to have a much bigger turnout of vendors and speakers and everybody, and just have a blast. So yeah. Okay, so 10 more minutes for image of the week, and then we'll make that announcement. And don't forget to I'm going to get everything ready for tomorrow, so you can, load up your images and send your images in for next week. Absolutely, Greg. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to some real people contact, mingling, getting, making these networking, making connections, building these relationships, and, seeing friends and, that you haven't seen in a while, and just catching up. And so, yeah, that's definitely, what I'm really, really looking forward to. Um, I want to see, the new innovations that have come out. I really like to see, I'm really curious if um there was Dark Dragons, if they're going to be there, if they've come out with anything recent, stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. But anybody else, everybody, I just want to see what is in store, and if there's going to be any big things, maybe a big announcement or big release, maybe just before NEAF, or and just see how everything goes. So I think it's just going to be a blast. I'm This year I'm not going to do NEAC. Maybe I'll do it next year. We'll see. But yeah, there's just not going to do it. This year, NEAC is because I guess they have, excuse me, a wedding or something beforehand, like that Thursday, that Wednesday, Thursday, or that Thursday, Friday, that they pushed it back to Monday, Tuesday this year. So, yeah. So JPEGs and fits. All right. So, yeah, we got people talking about tariffs and stuff like that. So I want to try to stay out of that. I am not touching that subject. I try to stay out of it. I mean, so I just want to talk about Astro. Um, One thing I've got to do here is I'm looking forward to is now that we're in March, we're in Galaxy season. So I've got to get my long focal length. I got to get my Schmidt ready, my Edge 8. And who knows, maybe I can take a look at, a possibility of something, over at NEAF. Not going to bring it home, but, but you also get the discounts too. Yeah. So, yeah, because I would, Dan, he's got that 9 1/4 that he loved rubbing in my face. So I want to see if I can one up him and go for an 11. See if I get an 11 edge. But they are not cheap, but it's worth it, especially if I'm going to do planetary. But heck, just having new gear, period. No, I don't care, Even if it's for planetary, not for planetary, deep sky, whatever. Just having new gear is so much fun. What do I think about the EQ coming up with an EQ, the C Star coming up with an EQ setup? Why not? Why not? I mean, I think it's a great introduction to astrophotography for people who are on a budget and can't, afford to get that EQ mount or anything like that. But if there's something that allows the C Star to follow, rotate on the axis and on the axes and do all that, and you can do some some EAA or something, Eve or long, or if you can figure out doing guiding. The question is how are you going to guide? So you still may end up doing EAA or something like that, but that's one thing. The QHY Mini Cam 8. I would like to see it. I'm sure it's coming. It'll be here before NEAF. I'm hoping. I mean, I know it's been pushing and stuff. It's coming through. I've talked about the mini Cam 8 a bit. Seen it on Queeve from Queeve and others. I've thought about it. My only thing about the mini Cam 8 is again, the you can only use those filters with the mini cam 8, because they're that size, they're the size for the sensor. So that's why I personally decided, and I reached out to Dan to get an Altair Astro 585 mono. So that's what I'm going to be buying from Dan is an Altair Astro. And this will be my first Altair. So I've heard they're great quality and everything. So I'm looking forward to using it, and I can use it with, you know, my existing filter wheel, my ZWO filter wheel, and, you know, so yeah. I believe it's 7. They are 7. These are 7 nanometer narrow bands, 7 nanometer. But it's a great way to get started with mono. That's the key thing, is that it's a great way to get started with mono on a budget. I mean, for $800, you can't beat that. And you get 7 nanometer filters, which is going to fight a good deal of light pollution. You know, it's when you're doing, you know, narrowband. So yeah, they're fantastic. I think it's a great idea, and the price point's great. So for someone who's just getting started with mono or wants to get started with mono, I really don't think you can go wrong with it. It is a good deal, because at least this way it's already, everything is in, you know, already in one package and closed for a low price. You don't have to worry about buying, you know, a 7 slot or, you know, filter wheel, you know, and the actual filters or anything like that. You can go for it. So I don't think it's that, so I think it's really good. Yeah, you're gonna struggle, you there, Jackie. You know, if you're in Bortle 8 with and you want to do narrowband, you're probably gonna have to consider something like the maybe the Antlia Edge, which is a 4.5 nanometer. That should be okay. I think that should be okay for Bortle 8. I don't know if Bortle 7, you know, you're still going to have a little bit, but Bortle 7, you still may be able to get away with it. You still may be pretty good. Hey, Tom. Yeah, you can't buy a filter wheel and filters and the camera and all that stuff. You can't buy that for $800. That's why I'm saying it's a great introduction to mono for people who want to get into mono. Yeah, same here. I have Aunt Leah 2-inch filters for, because I have my 2600 mono. I have Aunt Leah 3 nanometer filters for the 2600, and I have the Edge, which is a 4.5 nanometer for my 533 for something small. Yep, I'm holding it down. So those 4.5s, I love those 4.5s. Those, the Edge 4.5s are, those are some great filters. I have not had any issues with those. The great coatings and everything. They control the light, they control the stars. I have not had one problem with them. I really enjoy them. I think they're a fantastic set. Yeah. So Jackie, one thing I say is you know, maybe do, you know, I really think 7 nanometer, I think you might end up being okay. Because heck, I think I've even used 12 nanometer in some pretty light polluted skies, and they were pretty good. The one thing was the oxygen. The oxygen was the kicker. But for hydrogen alpha, I don't think I had a problem. I do not think I had a problem there. All right, we are at 9:30. So let's take a look, see, and hopefully everybody voted. So let me get on over here and get this set up. Let's see. And we're going to announce who the winner is of this week's image of the week. Oh, so we had some good, not bad numbers. So thank you for everybody who voted. And we're going to share here. So we have our novice. I'm going to do our novice bracket first. There were 2 entries there. We had 16. And this is what, guys, we got to give the novices, some love here. I mean, I even put the novice at the top, and still we're only getting 16 to 42 from experience. You got to give the novice guys some love. But our winner is, for our novice bracket, the Horsehead in Flame Nebula by Tori Gadwa. So, oh no, it is a tie. I'm sorry, it's a tie. Both. Congratulations to you both, Tori and Brian. 8-8. So, all righty then. We have a tie for the novice. And we had 42 votes for our experience bracket. And the winner is Greg Meyer with the Mercurian chain. So congratulations. Congratulations. So nicely done, sir. All right. So I'll update the website and all that good stuff. So congrats to our novices. Don't forget, give the novice some love. They're gonna be the first. They're at the top now. So before you can get to the experienced guys, you got to go through the novice guys. Give them, show them a little love. But yeah, that Mercurian chain, that was awesome there, Drake. So congratulations. Didn't I do last week's? Did I not? I thought I did announce last week's. Okay, so we can definitely take a look, see. And go back here for the 7th. So for the 7th for the novice, we had 19 votes. And we had Thor's helmet, who won by Brian Vinci. So congratulations there, Brian. And we had 57 votes for the March 7th image of the week. So, and our winner is there. The Fox Fur by Chris Fierkson. I could have sworn I actually posted this because I actually had posted the images on the website. But no, it was a great capture there. Chris, for the Fox Fur. So congratulations there. All right. All right, guys. Well, as you can see by my yawning, it's been a heck of a night, a heck of a morning, heck of a day. I am beat, so I'm going to be calling it early tonight. I'm going to call the show a half hour early. I will update the website and also copy my notes and post those into Discord and drop those in for anyone who's interested and is planning on getting a MeLe and wants a little bit of a walkthrough when it comes to setting up your MeLe computer. So yeah. But thanks, Matt. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Friday night. Have a great weekend, clear skies. And as always, keep imaging, keep educating, clear skies. And we will see you guys on Wednesday. And this time, Dan said he's going to be here. He said that he's got a special guest. So I'm looking forward to finding out who it is. So cheers, everybody. Take care.